Yeah, speaking of big old hole shots, didn't you have one in Supercross?
Yeah, on a big bore.
Talk about that one real quick.
Yeah, so Salt Lake 2003, I was on my way out of race and I had just done my shoulder, came back, tore my ACL. And, racing's expensive. So I sat out like a year and freestyle was kind of starting to get big where I could go ride Douglas County Fairgrounds and make $500.
Yeah.
Instead of paying $1,200 to go race, So, but I always had a goal. So I raced the Arena Cross Championships. I got top 12 in the series, which I was stoked on. That was a goal. I made 4 outdoor nationals. That was a goal of mine. Never got points. I was bummed. I wanted to get points, but never
All privateer.
All privateer out of a van, just me and Cliffy for the Arena Crosses and pretty much just me for the outdoors. But I'd never made a Supercross main. And I'm like, dude, I can't quit racing, without making, because I only did 5 or 6 Supercrosses. It's not like I did a bunch. And my first one ever was Anaheim 1 in 2000. And dude, I got 10th in the heat. And they take 9.
Yeah.
Barely missed it. And I was like, damn. And then from there, I was never even close. So fast forward to 03, coming back from, knee surgery, no confidence at all, but
on 2 strokes.
On 2 strokes.
Yeah.
But there was a couple 4 strokes, like the Yamaha 250F that just kind of started coming out. So those were out a little bit. And me and Cliffy were talking and I'm like, dude, factory bikes are so gnarly.
Yeah.
And they deserve it. They're faster than me anyways, but dude, you can't even compete. Like if I'm on a bone stock Suzuki 125, so Cliff's all, dude, we're sending those things to bars. Dude, bars was like the freaking component for big bores back in the day. He made bikes rip. So funny story, we're at Carmichael's house. I went out with Sean Palmer to train one time and his outdoor track, he has this big old uphill triple. I mean, dude, like on my 250, you're like grabbing a gear up the lip to triple it. And it's all sandy. And we're in the shop and we're talking to Carmichael and he's like, yeah, I jumped it on Brown's, I think Brown's 125 or Mike Brown's 125. And he's like, but no one's jumped it on a 125. Like they won't even try it.
Yeah.
And so I got on my big bore. I think it was only, I'll have to ask Cliffy. I think it was just a 134. I don't think it was a 167, not like the gnarly big bore. But I hopped on my bike and went out there and I was going up the lip, like shifting into like 4th, I think, and like barely grabbing the gear and I jumped it. And Rick was like, damn, dude, that's pretty gnarly. I'm like, yeah, dude. Didn't tell him it was a big bore,
Yeah.
So
he's like, dude, you're sick.
Yeah, dude. So I made it and I fucking got a little street cred from Carmichael and then, I went to Salt Lake and I was on the outside and it was towards the end of the Supercross season. So that's kind of a better one. Like A1, it's stacked. Everyone's there. Right. Towards the end, there's some injuries. And like I got put in a heat race that was kind of weak and I knew it.
So this was the 125 class?
125. I raced both classes.
Yeah, right.
Missed the 250 main by like 2 in the LCQ. But I just remember thinking, I'm like, okay, I've got like Matt Walker, the Steve Mertens kid, and I can't remember. There was like 3 dudes, like factory dudes in my race. Okay. And they take 9. I'm like, dude, I should be able to get like 7th or 8th,
And it's now time for 125 heat number 1 from Salt Lake City as we take a look at the Nissan starting grid. We want to remind you in heat number 1, Andrew Short will be wearing the helmet. A 30 board is sideways, and we are off and running in Salt Lake City. Huge pile up, David, on that big left-hand turn.
Dude, come out of the gate, big old hole shot from the outside. Just cut everyone off. I think I came out of the first turn in 2nd, held on to 2nd for the whole first lap. Got passed by like 3 or 4 dudes. I was in 6th and there was no one behind me. Like with, halfway point, I'm like, oh my God, dude. Cause that's like the Aaron Plessinger thing. Yeah. It kind of like starts building on me, and I'm like, dude, cause there's 2 gnarly sets of whoops, and 2 strokes back in the day, whoops were so hard. Yeah. You had to come out of the turn, hit 3rd and like just go into them wide open or else you wouldn't even get through them. So white flag comes out still, I've got probably 5 seconds behind me. Like I've got it. I'm just cruising. And I'm like, dude, I got like to the last triple turn, last whoops. And dude, my arms were like cement. Yeah. Just because I was like, I knew I had it, and I ended up getting 6th in that heat race, made the main. And then I kind of messed up because I did want to because the 250s paid way more. Okay. I got $1,200 for like 5th place in the LCQ. And I think I got like $400 or $500 for 18th place in the main. Okay. So I should have maybe not tried so hard in the 250 class, but I needed the money. Yeah. But I was spent, dude. When I got to the 125 man, I think Stewart lapped me like 3 or 4 times. I couldn't even ride. So I got 18th, but it was weird. Right when I did that, we went to Glen Helen and Hangtown like 3 weeks later, and didn't make either of those motos, and that was it. I was done. That was the end. Because I swear it's like I made that Supercross main and like I was content. Yeah. And like I said, Miller had just bought us 7 acres. Yeah. Freestyle was getting big. And yeah, it was kind of like ending my freestyle career. It's like, you just know, I did it. And at first, like everyone, because, you know, like my dad's like, oh, you're going to jump in the bullshit. That's pussy stuff. You know, like, because everyone was so race oriented back then.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it ended up working out for the best. So thank God I did that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, checked off all my goals. I was stoked.